Welcome into our Browns Week 2 preview against the visiting New York Jets. You are watching the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson breaking this game down for you guys with my own twist and flair to it, with my own hot takes of keys to the game, right? What do the Browns need to do? Now, I said this in my preview last week, which is I am not a big believer in putting up just generic win the turnover battle. You think? Like, that's true a lot of the time. So I do my own deep dive research, the big analytics here, and break it all down for you. Now, if you are looking for a spot to watch this Sunday's game, whether you are out of market or if you are in market and you just want to be a part of a watch party, which is a ton of fun, join us this Sunday, 12:45 Eastern, 15 minutes before kickoff. We'll be having a blast. You can have the game on your TV, put us on your phone, computer, tablet, no problem at all. Just make sure you are with us throughout for the entire game on Sunday here at the channel. All right, keys to the game now. Let's jump into it. We'll go one by one. We'll start with number one, though. Go to the Chunt well. They were actually, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt asked about, what do they think of that nickname? And Kareem Hunt was like, all right. So, man, a few words right there. But in all honesty, Stefanski, don't overthink this. It worked very well in week 1 against the Panthers, where Nick Chubb on the ground put up 141 yards. And Kareem Hunt helped out, as always, in air support, receiving 4 receptions for 24 yards, and a receiving touchdown. This is one of the best 1-2 duos in the entire league. Now, the Jets were really good against the Ravens in week 1 at stopping the run. They limited Baltimore to 63 yards. And they've got some notable run stoppers like Quinnen Williams, a top pick for the Jets out of Alabama. C.J. Mosley, speak of the Crimson Tide. They've got some players that under Robert Saleh, he gets the best out of them. So the Jets, they are going to bring all they can to slow down the Cleveland Browns run game, because what the Jets were able to do against the Ravens in week 1 was pretty impressive. When you think of Baltimore, you usually think of running the football, and they did not do that well. Despite coming on top, you ask a Ravens fan, hey, how did week 1 go? A real one would be like, it was kind of shaky at first, actually. Now, they didn't have J.K. Dobbins. They're expected to have J.K. Dobbins in week 2, but that's beside the point. Kenyon Drake, Lamar Jackson, and Mike Davis were heavily limited on the ground. So for the Browns, it'll be crucial. And it's kind of, clash of titans in terms of just what we've seen out of a very small sample size. The Browns want to run the football. They are very good and effective at doing that. Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio, in my opinion, are the 2 best run-blocking guards. They are right there with Zach Martin from the Cowboys and what's-his-face from the Colts. I mean, Quentin Nelson. This team is going to want to run the football down your throat. It'll be up to the Jets to stop them. Now, predict the score for me. Who do you think wins this game, and by how much? Get those score predictions in the comment section down below. I think the Browns are going to take this game in the neighborhood of 24-14. Hopefully no cardiac kids, episode again this Sunday, and you don't need Cade York to make it from 58, which, by the way, special teams coordinator Mike Prefer said, hey, had that 10-yard penalty be called against Jacoby Brissett, which probably should have, they were confident in Cade from 68. And he would have been good from 68. So, next key to the game. I just want one deep ball from Jacoby Brissett. I'm not asking for a lot here. Just one. Jacoby Brissett in week 1, and sure, it's week 1. You're going to have some misfires. You're going to have some miscues. But he had some opportunities that he missed on. And it'll slide against some lesser teams like the Panthers. It won't slide against teams like the Chargers, Bengals, and Ravens. Allow me to show you guys. Let's show some tape here, right? This is early in the game. Donovan Peoples-Jones is just running right up the middle of the field. He has beaten his man, and there's Jacoby Brissett standing on his own 35. How does this play end? He decides to tuck it and run. Let it loose, dude. Fire it down the field. Now, this is who Jacoby Brissett is. You take the caution with the less interceptions. So, for better or for worse, that's what Jacoby Brissett's play style is. But then there are some times where when he does throw it, he's got to put it on the money, okay? Amari Cooper didn't have a great stat performance in week 1, but he did draw a pass interference in the end zone when he absolutely cooked his man, and that's worthy of a touchdown to me because Kareem Hunt rushed it in anyways. But here on this play, Amari Cooper beats his guy right off the get-go, right off the snap. Now you can see there is one high safety over the top. So what does Jacoby Brissett have to do here? He cannot put it way too far down the field. He cannot allow that one high safety leaning onto Brissett's side of the field to get over and make a play on the football. That's exactly what happened, right? He's got to put it 18 yards down the line of scrimmage instead of closer to 22. If you know, you know. But in this play right here, Brissett has to be able to recognize where the safety is in relation to his receiver and not go for the necessary super deep ball, but just for the solid pickup. What about this play? Early in the game as well. Kareem Hunt, he motions him out wide. He gets a great matchup against Shaq Thompson. I love that matchup. It is a great play design by Stefanski to get a good matchup and get an unfair one in favor of the Browns. Now, there is a flag on this play that goes against the Panthers, so the Browns end up picking up a first down thanks to a defensive holding. But I would rather have 30 yards than 5 yards. Once again, Brissett missed this throw, overthrew him. He knows this. I'm not presenting new information. What I'm saying is the Browns were able to squeak out a win without hitting on some of these home runs. That's going to work for sometimes, for some games. That is not a viable thing to have over the course of 11 games for Jacoby Brissett, which is why I say just hit one of those, right? I'm not asking for him to be, if he hits all three, he's probably not Jacoby Brissett. He's probably a starting quarterback. Those are not, they're easy throws, but to make 4 to 5 easy throws down the field, it's not super easy. So let me ask this question here. And I didn't really know the best way I wanted to phrase it, but I think you get the gist of it. What's Jacoby Brissett's leash, right? Like, how long is it, right? Is he on a short leash, meaning there's no retractable portion to it, it's 6 feet long, and that's it? Or does he have a longer leash, right? A retractable one, where you kind of trust your dog to, like, hey, don't eat that other dog 12 feet down the sidewalk here. Keep it on the shorter side. Let me know, what do you think Jacoby Brissett's leash is? And hey, while you're making those guesses down in the comment section or giving your predictions and takes, I want to tell you guys quickly about our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head on over to chatsports.com/bet. When you put in promo code Browns125, BetUS is going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. Now, if an additional 125 is not sweet enough to, put your money where your mouth is, what about getting a free jersey? No hoops to jump through. No gimmicks. Really simple. Here at Chat Sports, everyone that goes to chatsports.com/bet and puts in promo code Browns125 gets to pick between a Deshaun Watson jersey or a Myles Garrett jersey. You get to pick the color. You get to pick the size. Just email jersey@chatsports.com and we will take care of the rest. Here are the simple steps. Take a screenshot of this if you want. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Browns125. When you put $100 in, they'll tack on an additional $125. Make your first bet. Browns -6.5, or if you want to go a different route, doesn't matter. Doesn't even have to be on the Browns. Just email us jersey@chatsports, which, by the way, that email's in the comments and description of today's show, with a screenshot of your first bet. Next thing you know, you've got a brand new Cleveland Browns jersey coming your way on us here at Chat Sports. Talk to us. We'll get you guys hooked up. Next key to the game, revenge on Flacco. I know this is kind of me just being a bit selfish because it's not the Baltimore Ravens and it's a completely different team. But there is something to Joe Flacco having success against the Browns. I don't need to bring up a whole bunch of bad memories for everyone to know that Flacco has had Cleveland's number. In his career against the Browns, he is 17-3. He averages 231 yards per game, and he threw 27 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Now, this will be Joe Flacco's first time returning to Cleveland as a starter. He played against the Browns when he was on the Broncos, but he was hurt, so we won't even count it really. Now, Joe Flacco, he ain't the same Joe Flacco. Ravens fans are in denial. They are thinking he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He ain't. But when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, you can see his stats on the left. 61% completion percentage. He threw for 234 yards and 212 touchdowns, 95 interceptions, and he had a 96 and 67 record altogether. As for what Joe Flacco has done since being ousted by Baltimore for Lamar Jackson, he's thrown fewer yards per game. His touchdown interceptions, of course, are lower, but the actual ratio itself is much worse. And as a starter, he's 2-12, guys. He's not coming in. He's bad. I don't know how much more of how much more color I have to provide to this picture. We know all of this, right? This is not brand new information to everyone. But that doesn't change the fact that Joe Flacco had a lot of success against the Browns. And I would love to see that success come crashing down. And I would love to see the Browns go 2-0 against a QB that tormented them for so many years. And what better way to take down Joe Flacco with his new team than by going to Myles Garrett, who, by the way, is just 2 sacks away from becoming the Cleveland Browns' all-time sack leader. So a little revenge on Joe Flacco is really a key to the game to actually winning. Not necessarily, but I'll provide a bonus key to make up for that, my kind of half-ass key right there. At some point, just some espionage, some sabotage, send someone to the Jets sideline and kidnap Denzel Mims. If the wide receivers are not performing well, when Jacoby Brissett or Nick Chubb runs out of bounds on their sideline, just run up to Denzel and go like, you look a lot better in brown and orange. And maybe he'll hang around. How about this? Give him a wrong plane. Give him the wrong schedule. Put him in a different locker room. He misses the team bus, and he hangs out in Cleveland. I think we could all use a little extra help at wide receiver. Now, if you hate the Ravens while we talk about Joe Flacco, I don't need much of a natural transition to this right here. We usually do F-Pip, but the Ravens work as well. F-B-A-L, F Baltimore, F the Ravens down in the comments section. Let me hear it loud and proud, Browns fans.